Random Thought.
This is Random Thoughts with your host, Andrew Pollock.
Oh, good. I see the mic is moving right now. Good. Coming to you from Fresh Meadows, New York. This is the Random Thought program. This is your old pal, Andrew Pollock, your host, your producer. You are listening live on Spreaker. And of course, this will be put on YouTube later, obviously, because this is not live on YouTube. But again, I am doing my first ever live podcast here on Spreaker. I just tweeted out a couple minutes ago, I'm an Andrew Sports fan, that I was going live, and I am live right now. It is 4 or 5 o'clock. I only have a half hour to play around with due to the obligation I made to Spreaker, obviously. And since, they want me to pay a fee, but, my goodness. This is the 4th episode already. Wow. Let me tell you, this weather in New York is out of hand this year. We've been having steady cold winters. This past Sunday, we almost broke a record again. It was 59 on Sunday. But it almost hit 60. The record would have been tied, but I don't even think it would have been broken. Past couple days, yesterday, today, it's been very, very cold. And I went out today. I do not like this wind. I just don't. But getting another rainstorm this weekend, which is not fun. We just had one this past weekend. Supposed to happen Saturday. And in case anybody is listening in the New York City area, be aware if you wake up tomorrow morning, you might see a coating on your sidewalk tomorrow, which shouldn't be a big deal. I mean, take it easy on the roads, but it won't be, a snow emergency unless de Blasio just says, let's declare a slow emergency. But, on that note, couple stuff I want to get off my chest today. Now, I'm not going to talk about this past weekend's NFL games because why do I need to bore the national audience with that? Please, it's just not fair to the national audience listening. But I do want to talk about Nick Saban a little bit, if I may, because it's a very important thing that I need to discuss. If he is listening, I would like to congratulate him on his 4th national championship. The Alabama Crimson Tide beat the Clemson Tigers last night. The undefeated Clemson Tigers last night. 45-40. Now, it was a very exciting game. But I don't really need to break down the highlights. I mean, if I go into that, then that's another boredom that you guys will just turn the live stream off. But I want to quickly talk about how I think Nick Saban is a Hall of Fame coach. Which, of course he is. Now that he's won 4 national championships, it's no discussion that he's definitely a guaranteed Hall of Famer. You win 4 national championships with one program. I mean, that right there in Tuscaloosa gets you a statue already, considering that this is the 16th national title for the program. I'm telling you, if I am the sports director, or if, I am, the director at Alabama, I'm telling Nick Saban, hey, you're getting some kind of recognition in our hallway, because 4 national championships is quite an accomplishment for Nick Saban. Remember, he failed in the NFL. This is what I tell my friends all the time, and this is what I tell, a lot of people too in general, that going to Alabama basically saved Nick Saban's career. And a lot of people will agree with me on this, because this guy knows what he's doing. I mean, he didn't know what he was doing in the NFL, but he figures going to the SEC, which is a powerhouse conference, looking at it, Saban knows how to, scout these players out from high school, and, when it's paid off. And the majority of his players who have won national championships, the first 3, are in the NFL right now. And obviously, and a lot of people will agree with me, Derrick Henry is a top 10 pick in the NFL draft. He is. He might even go number 1. That's how great he was this year. Now, I've loved how Derrick Henry played this year. He surprised me way back in November against LSU. But, I really think that you're going to look at Derrick Henry if he gets to the NFL, and you're going to think of him as one of those elite running backs in the league. You're going to think of him as somebody you want to watch every week in the NFL. Now, I want to quickly talk about Deshaun Watson. I think that in today's NFL, with 2 great mobile quarterbacks we have, considering that they're playing against each other this weekend with Cam Newton and Russell Wilson. In today's NFL, it's possible Deshaun Watson could survive. Now, I don't want to get into any more NFL draft talk because that's months away from now. But, I really think that in the near future, you're going to see Deshaun Watson and Derrick Henry on your SportsCenter highlights every week. That's how just good these guys were with Alabama and Clemson. So, again, congrats to Nick Saban on his 4th title. Congrats to the Alabama program on their 16th title. Well deserved. And, we move on. And an announcement I want to make, that on Friday there will be a pre-recorded podcast here on Spreaker that will have me discussing the 4 NFL divisional round matchups. It'll be this Friday here on Spreaker, and of course on the Andrew Sports Fan YouTube page. Really today, when I want to talk, because I really don't want to talk that much sports today, because I am literally not in the mood to talk that much sports today, because there have been 2 random thoughts that have been, I've been dying to get out, so I might as well get them out today, because it's a slow day, obviously. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Knicks and Islanders playing tonight, but there have been 2 random thoughts, actually 3 random thoughts that I wanted to get out. It's actually 3, so there goes nothing. All right. Number 1 in case anybody hasn't heard by now, I will not be on the Howard Stern Show anytime soon. Joey Boots talked to Gary Delabate, and Howard is apparently booked the entire year. So, if anybody was expecting me to be on the Howard Stern Show, that's not going to happen for quite a while. But I would have loved to, be on it, but that's not going to happen according to Gary Delabate. So, yeah. That's one quick thought, but two other thoughts I want to get off my chest today. One, I really want to talk about David Bowie. And, like everybody else, yesterday, we were all shocked to find out the news. Especially me, because not that many people know by now that I'm also a volunteer. And a lot of people know that I volunteer at LIJ in New Hyde Park. But once a week on Mondays, I volunteer at a nursing home in Bayside. And, I thought it was going to be a regular day like any other boring Monday would be unless I got to Osnum Hall. And, when I woke up at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, because I have 10:10 wins set on the alarm clock every day, when I heard the news, when I first woke up, I'm like, are they kidding? Are they really kidding? And then I waited for the boring traffic report to be over, and then they gave the news at 8:02, and I was completely shocked. And everybody else was. For the record, Bowie just released an album on his birthday. And my dad on Monday morning, because he was reading the Sunday paper, which was Newsday, in the Explore Long Island section, showed me the album that was highlighted. And I first found out from Newsday, believe it or not, which my dad showed me it, that he released an album on his birthday. And I was like, oh my goodness. And, of course, they gave out the news that he had cancer since July of 2014, which nobody even knew at the time, because he kept it so private. And, in general, for somebody to lose their battle with cancer is just completely sad. And, David Bowie was, again, a complete shock. He was almost 70. Oh, he just turned 69, but he was one more year shy of 70. And, one of his songs on his recent album hinted goodbye. I would think how creepy that sounds. I mean, it did. So, I am literally lost for words on David Bowie, because this is how shocking it was. If we knew he had cancer back in July of 2014, it still would have been sad, but it would have been expected. But it was more shocking because, again, it was kept private for almost 2 years. And, it was, again, nobody saw it coming. It just came out of the blue. And as far as sending condolences, I think I'm the one who should. Especially to his fans, obviously, which his other fans, because I am a fan of David Bowie. I will admit it. Let's Dance will still be my favorite David Bowie track of all time. And I did tweet out yesterday that he will dance peacefully in heaven. We all hope for that to happen. And, he had such an an influence on the whole music industry. I mean, not just rock and roll. I mean, there have been hip-hop samples based over David Bowie's Last Dance. No joke. And, Kanye West was influenced by him. I mean, certainly I was hearing him on CBS FM. It is true, I did first hear David Bowie on CBS FM. And, Let's Dance will still be a very memorable track. And David Bowie did do a track with Queen, which was Under Pressure. And, he just had a different musical style that nobody else did before his time. So, honoring the life of David Bowie is very important for me to do, and I wanted to get my thoughts out regarding it. So, again, and I'm going to say it like I did when I tweeted it out yesterday. Mr. Bowie, please dance in heaven. Because that's what we all hope for. Now, the last thing I want to get off my chest today. I want to talk about my review of the movie Concussion. Yes, I did see it on Thursday. And, I was very excited to see it months ago. Now, I did want to see it before the new year, but I had plans. And my schedule worked out for me to go on Thursday last week. So, here's what I thought of Concussion. First of all, I liked how Will Smith, Alec Baldwin, and Albert Brooke did a terrific job on their roles playing the doctors. But, on a serious note, this movie was based on, counting it correctly, 5 players who committed suicide, which were Mike Webster, Terry Long, Justin Strelitzky, I can't even pronounce his name, Andre Waters, and then Paul Tagamu. Sorry. It was 4 players. Paul Tagamu was the NFL commissioner before Goodell came in. My bad. God, my throat's acting up. No joke, it is. But, on a serious note, for Peter Landsman, a guy who was a very successful author before he got into directing, for his first film he ever directed, I have to say, this was a pretty great job by Peter Landsman. So I want to give him a round of applause. Big round of applause for him. And you know what? Round of applause for the entire cast of the film. That's how great I enjoyed this. That's how enjoyable this movie was. Now, as far as Will Smith, he's definitely going to get nominated for Best Actor at the Oscars. But as far as Best Picture, that's to be determined by the Academy on Thursday. The Academy will be announcing their nominations on Thursday, obviously, and there were a lot of good movies that deserve to get nominated. But I tell you, Concussion is one of those films that was based on Dr. Bennett Omalu, long time ago, who came up with the name of chronic traumatic encephalopathy. And, you know, whoever the casting director was, very good decision on the whole entire cast. Especially Dr. Omalu's wife. The point I'm trying to make here is it will be a shame if this film does not get nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. Because that's how great this movie was. True emotion, and again, based on a true story about how the concussion problem first started all the way back in 2002 when Mike Webster committed suicide. So, Concussion, definitely for me, gets a 10 out of 10 rating on IMDb, if I were rating it. And you got a lot of mixed reviews on Rotten Tomato. Metacritic is too serious about how they rate things, and they gave it about a 50-something. I forget the score was, but point is, if you haven't seen Concussion yet, go see it for yourself, because this is a movie you have to see. Even if you're a doctor, and I'm talking to you doctors, I'm talking to you, surgeons and other people who work in the medical field, go check out this movie, because it's just truly amazing. So on that note, I am going to end the program. I'm going to give out my contact info. You want my fan mail? It's andrew718pollock@gmail.com. At AndrewSportsFan, Twitter and Instagram. And of course my Tumblr blog, which is tumblr.com/AndrewSportsFan. So, just remember, Friday, it's a pre-recorded podcast. I will not be live. I'm only live today because I felt like I should try it out today, so unless something changes, I'll probably tweet about it. So that's why you have to follow me on Twitter, in case anything important happens like today. Until next time on Friday, goodbye.